The Marvel Cinematic Universe has become the pop culture juggernaut of our generation. What started back in 2008 with one snarky billionaire in a cave has snowballed into a galaxy-spanning, multiverse-hopping mega-franchise that's rewritten how superhero stories are told. But here's the tea. The MCU didn't just copy-paste characters from the comics onto the big screen. Nope. Kevin Feige and the squad basically took decades of comic book lore, plot twists, dramatic backstories, and yes, even weird alien hookups, and hit it with the Marvel glow-up machine. Characters got recast, refurbished, and in some cases, completely reinvented. Think of it as the Marvel multiverse, but with no portal guns and way more corporate strategy. Some changes to the Avengers storylines were subtle, like softening backstories or modernizing origins. Others were bold AF, full-on rewrites that would have comic book purists foaming at the mouth. So let's break it down. Who got the best makeover? Who got nerfed into oblivion? And which heroes got hit with the creative liberties wand just a bit too hard? Iron Man. From Nam to modern warfare. Originally, Tony Stark was captured during the Vietnam War, back when that was the current event of the decade. But MCU Tony? His origin was updated to Afghanistan, grounding him in a modern context and making his transformation from weapons mogul to world-saving genius feel way more believable for today's audience. It's the same explosion to enlightenment arc, just with a 21st century lens. Captain America, masked soldier to public icon. Steve Rogers in the comics was all about the secret identity life. His name wasn't public, his personal life was low-key, and his off-duty activities were a mystery to the world. Now, MCU Steve? Everyone knew him. From the moment he picked up that shield, he was a walking PR campaign. No mask mystery, no alter ego, just pure, unapologetic Cap. It's a bold move, but it works. His transparency made him feel like the moral backbone of the Avengers. And let's be real, we needed that. The Hulk got a science update. Comics Hulk was born when Bruce Banner saved a teen from a gamma explosion. Classic hero origin story. That's not MCU's Hulk's genesis. His experiment was a government attempt to recreate the super soldier serum. That tiny detail linked him to Cap and tied his arc more tightly to the MCU's bigger puzzle. Also, shout out to the MCU for slowly revamping our Rage Monster to Smart Hulk with a cardigan. We love character development and fashion. Thor, without the identity crisis. In the comics, Thor spent his time on Earth with no memory of being a god, living as Dr. Donald Blake. It was very Shakespeare meets ER. The MCU ditched that angle entirely. Thor knows who he is. His story is less about rediscovering identity and more about earning his worth. Way less confusing, way more epic. And we still got the fish out of water humor when he smashed a coffee mug and yelled, "Another!" So, win-win. Black Widow lost the centuries and gained relevance. Comic book Natasha has been around since 1928, a super spy with a bio-enhanced lifespan, decades of espionage, KGB drama, and more secrets than Area 51. MCU Natasha, still mysterious, still dangerous, but with a way more condensed backstory. No eternal youth here, just a woman with a dark past trying to make things right. They stripped away the sci-fi age weirdness and gave us a more grounded, emotionally rich version. She's not a relic from the Cold War, she's a survivor of it. And honestly, that makes her sacrifices hit even harder. Captain Marvel skipped the mess to become galactic powerhouse. Comic Carol Danvers? Pew child. Her storyline is like trying to read a Wikipedia page with 10 open tabs. She was originally Ms. Marvel, had her powers stolen, got them back, joined the X-Men for a while, had amnesia, trauma, weird alien relationships. It was a lot. Enter MCU Carol. No time for side quests. They gave us fully powered, already legendary Captain Marvel from the get-go. She's punching starships, flexing binary energy, and basically saying, "I'm not here to explain, I'm here to save the day." Marvel streamlined her whole journey into one movie, giving us maximum power, minimal confusion. Do we lose a bit of her emotional depth? Maybe. But what we gained in screen presence and galactic sass is totally worth it. James Rhodes changed into the ultimate wingman. The MCU Rhodey is straight up MVP bestie energy, always by Tony Stark's side, always doing the right thing, always the voice of reason, a loyal military man with a PhD in keeping Stark from blowing things up just because he can. But comic book Rhodey? Oh, he had layers. Dude once snatched the Iron Man suit from Tony when the man was deep in his alcoholic spiral. He literally took the mantle while Tony was passed out in a gutter somewhere. Imagine your ride or die becoming the main character while you're too hungover to stand. Marvel Studios clearly went, "Yeah, that's a little dark for our opening act." and reimagined Rhodey as the ultimate wingman. Instead of betrayal, we got bromance. And honestly, our emotional support system thanks them. Scott Lang, the lovable crook to quantum dad jokes. Comic book Scott Lang, low-key genius. He stole the Ant-Man suit from Stark Industries to save his daughter, but it was a calculated mission. He was clever, capable, and not quite the clumsy sweetheart we know. In the MCU, he's the definition of chaotic good. Ex-con with a heart of gold, super awkward in social settings, and somehow still ends up being crucial to reversing the snap. He didn't just stumble into Ant-Man. He tripped, fell, and then made it work with dad jokes and shrink tech. The MCU version feels way more grounded and way more relatable. Maybe we're all just one bad day away from stealing a shrink suit and messing up quantum timelines. Falcon's bird drama got the axe? Literally. In the comics, Sam Wilson had this telepathic connection to a real bird named Redwing. Yes, that's right. He could communicate with a falcon with his mind. The MCU took one look at that and said, okay, but what if we made it a robot? Enter Drone Redwing, a sleek piece of Stark tech that can scout, shoot, and doesn't poop everywhere. A win for modern storytelling and sanitation. Sam's still got the wings and the heart, but now with less animal whispering and more tactical vibes. MCU turned him from urban bird whisperer to aerial special ops legend. And it soars high. Why did Marvel make these big changes? Well, they had to. The MCU wasn't just making movies, they were building a freaking empire. Some comic storylines were too confusing, too problematic, or just too dated to translate to screen without triggering mass confusion. Streamlining characters made them more accessible, more bingeable, and way more cohesive across films. Also, not gonna lie, a bird that talks back would have turned Falcon into a meme, not a hero. Marvel chose wisely. MCU gave comic stories a facelift, filter, and billion-dollar budget. Marvel Studios took messy, decades-long comic arcs and turned them into a shared universe that's cleaner, faster, and more emotionally resonant. Sure, purists might cry foul, but the results speak for themselves. Global fandoms, box office records, cultural resets. So yeah, next time you watch Iron Man or Thor swing that hammer, just remember, you're watching a remix, not the original track. But trust us, this remix is a banger. While you are here, smash that like button, drop your hottest comic to MCU take in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe to First Curiosity if you want more insights on Marvel served hot and ready.